One of the people I respect greatly said, when inspiration strikes, do it then and there. Why wait for later? Because the inspiration and the energy you have right now might not stay later. And if you have an idea, get it out of the way immediately. So here I am, because I just had an epiphany and I had to tell you guys, right? For all my six beloved viewers, or more if luck strikes. Anyways, when I first had an epiphany of that I wanted to make money, I realized, okay, how can I make money? I've got to have something that others want, because getting money is basically a transaction. They give me money and I give them something in return, right? Now, it can be a food item, it can be a software, it can be a massage. So, basically, any product or service. Now, at the time, I had no product, obviously, and I had very few services to offer other than maybe walking someone's dog or something like that. But that barely fetched me anything at all. So, what's the point? So I thought to myself, okay, what are the skills I have right now that I can, monetize? So I realized, okay, I can teach how to solve Rubik's cube. I can teach like people how to play drums. So I got with it immediately. I saw these Instagram ads for this online platform where you can teach people how to you can teach people whatever, right? You can teach people English, you can teach people math, or you can teach people yoga, whatever it is. So I signed myself up immediately, and lo and behold, a month later, I got my first student. I was super fucking pumped, right? And I didn't know how the market worked. I didn't know how the whole pricing structure worked per hour sessions. I didn't know how much to charge. So I charged 200 rupees for an hour. For an entire hour of class, I charge 200 rupees. It is fucking crazy, because 200 rupees gets you nothing. If you want to buy some bananas and watermelons, it's going to cost you much more than 200 now. So at the time, I was like, you know what, fuck it. Like, let's just get started with it. And this was a student in Canada. So these Canadian people had shit ton of money, and I was like an idiot charging maybe a buck and a half for them. So, anyways, it was really fun, and I realized, okay, fine, this is. It went on for a while. I made a couple thousand bucks that way, so I increased my price, got more students, and that went on. But I realized, okay, I've got to have something else that can fetch me more money. Now it's all about scalability, right? So if you really want to make money, like significant amount of wealth, from what I've studied, what I've seen others do, it's all about scalability, right? So the reason Mark Zuckerberg is like super fucking famous, I mean super fucking rich, is because he had a software like Facebook, which was scalable. So he could like sell that to a billion people without any real costs, right? Because it doesn't cost a lot once you have Facebook on the App Store and Play Store. It doesn't cost a whole lot more to actually produce more of it. It's not like a food item where restaurants have to pour in hundreds, if not thousands, or 100,000 rupees every single month, into working capital for raw materials and wages and whatnot. So what I realized was, okay, it's all about scalability, and it's all about first, before even scaling something, you've got to have something to scale. And I had nothing, right? So I realized, okay, if I actually want to make money, I've got to learn something, right? Be it a skill or anything that can get me money. So I thought, okay, what is something that I can use to leverage to make money? Now there are like multiple things right now. You can develop these skills that you can leverage to make more money. So you can use those skills to either freelance, get some clients, build your own agency, and then make money off of that. Or you can just like gain some experience doing internships and get a job and get a really good job, and then get promoted or whatever, right? There are two paths you could take. So talking about these skills, right? Now there are multiple skills: writing, coding, making videos. If you're really good at it, maybe that's like a source of income, whatever. But something that cannot be taken away from you, right? Something that only you have. Like, it's not like, okay, for example, if you play football, right? You need a football to show your skills. You can't just dribble the air and like make money off of that. So skills like talking is what I realize I like a lot. I like to talk a lot, right? So whatever it is about, I can debate all day, I can talk all day, and it never really fucking bores me. Unless we're talking about something boring, then that bores me. Otherwise, not really, right? So I realize, okay, how can I use talking to make me money? Now, of course, there's YouTube videos, but this might take a long time until I actually start to make money off of it, right? And this is not even one of the ways I'm trying to make money off of. Because if I were to just make money off YouTube, there are much more better ways where you can just take some famous video, chop it up to pieces, AI, automate that shit, and then make money off of it. Anyways, so I was talking about selling right now, talking and convincing people. That was pretty fun. And also, after I did my first sales job ever, I realized, okay, this is something very fucking cool because I learned so much about myself. Because I learned, okay, I'm not good at convincing people, I'm not good at negotiating. And if someone says no, I don't know how to counter it and actually convince them to say yes. But it turns out I did because I kind of closed a deal my first job ever. So that was pretty cool. But, anyways, I realized, okay, fine, maybe sales is my thing. So then I went out there and I'm like, okay, now I know sales is a good thing, right? And it's something I can leverage to make money. So I was like, okay, I need to learn more about sales. And how do you learn more about sales? Yeah, you can read a book, you can watch podcasts, or you can talk to someone experienced. But if you really wanted to learn how to sell, you got to go out there and sell, because that's the only fucking way you'll really learn, right? So I went out there. I tried to get more jobs. I tried to get all sorts of jobs possible. I tried working as a waiter, because waiters really got to sell. If you think about it, waiters don't just take orders. A good waiter would recommend better or more dishes, more desserts, and more expensive dishes, right? Right? So, and you do it in such a way where the customer doesn't really understand or doesn't realize that you're selling more or higher price items to him. You just gotta make it sound like it's really fucking tasty, because sales is not about the product. It's about selling the need. You've got to tell them, because everyone who comes to a restaurant is hungry, and you've got to tell them, hey, I know you're hungry, and when you're hungry, you've got to eat this because it's gonna fucking slap, right? So, anyways, we're getting sidetracked. What I was saying was, I consider doing everything. I went to McDonald's, I went to KFC, I asked like random companies, if they give me internships. I called my bank. So when my bank relationship manager called me, just to check if everything's all right and if I need any banking services, I was like, hey, do you guys offer internships? And he just said no. And I was like, okay, but like, can you give me an internship for maybe 2 months? Just let me work. Let me any department, because okay, I realized that sales is something I liked, but I was of course open to learning, because beggars can't be choosers, right? And when I'm fucking broke, I will do whatever the fuck I got to do to make that money. But he said no, and just like that, I kept asking people, and then finally, out of nowhere. So this is what I'm saying, that you've always got to keep your mind open. You've got to keep your eyes, ears, and everything open, right? Because you never know when opportunity the fucking comes in front of you, and you got to grab it, right? Because if you're not, the opportunity is just gonna go, and maybe someone else will take it, right? So I was with my friends chilling in one of the college events. I saw the stall where they're selling energy drinks, right? I was like, okay, let's check that out. And they were selling the shit out of these energy drinks. Right? It's a new company. It was the startup that was selling some very cool type of energy drinks. I don't know what's special about it, but I tried it and it was really good. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. It's a new company. I know they're not in any area where I stay, because I was traveling with my friends somewhere else. And I asked them, hey, are you guys open for distribution? And they were like, yeah, where? And I told them the place where I stay, right? And they were like, okay, yeah, sure, like, here's my number, go back and call me. And I was like, okay. Now, I didn't know if he was serious, because I was like 19 or 20 at the time. And imagine like a 20-year-old going up to a 50-year-old, and I'm like, hey, like, would you like to do business with me? Oftentimes, like, they'll just say no, fuck off, or they'll just be, yeah, yeah, okay, whatever. But I told him, like, look, I know think I'm fucking around, but I'm not. Like, I looked him dead in the eye. I cannot express it any better way. I looked him dead in the eye. I was like, dude, I want to do this. Are you open to it? Yes or no? You're like, yeah, for sure, man, for sure. Like, just go back, call me. We'll send over the samples and cool. I'm like, okay. I went back Monday morning. The first day I called him, he's like, oh, whoa, I didn't think you'd actually call. And I actually didn't have your number. I asked my colleagues for it, but they didn't have it either. So I didn't think you'd call, and this was never happening. I was like, no, I was being dead ass about it because I want to do this. So Monday morning I called. Tuesday or Wednesday he sent the samples in. By Thursday, Wednesday actually, I packed them all up. I bought the ice box thing, put a shit ton of ice in it, put all the energy drinks in it, made it look nice. Took it, carried it to all the suppliers I could find in and around the place I was living in. Some of them liked it, some of them didn't. Some of them were like, okay, you know what, we'll keep some of it, we'll see, we'll try. I got my first initial order. And I'm like, fuck, did I just start a business? I was like, fuck yeah, I did. So then I went back, I ordered a whole lot of shit, paid up front because they don't offer credit for new distributors. So paid up front, got it all back, supplied it. They loved it. Students loved it because obviously, which student wouldn't love energy drinks, right? So they all loved it. They gave me more orders. So the cycle went on until the point to I couldn't service them more. Service them as in I couldn't deliver anymore because at the time I was in college. I was delivering these boxes by scooter. I had a scooter. I put six fucking boxes up my crotch and ride them like really slow and go and deliver all of it, right? But there's only so much delivering you can do and so much accounting you can do when you're already in college, and there's only so much these small number of distributors would take from me. So I had this very difficult decision to make, and one of my suppliers, one of my retailers, made this decision much easier by making my life hell. So he called me. He's like, Vedant, look, and he was saying this with a smile. And this is what I hate about big fucking people. He said with a smile. He's like, look, we love your product, but if you don't knock off the price by 5%, we're gonna stop taking it. And I'm like, what? My margin was 10%, and he wanted me to knock 50% off of it. And I'm like, dude, see, I cannot do that. He's like, sorry, if you don't do this, I'll sell Coke and Pepsi. That's cool with me, right? But if you want me to sell your product, this is the price I want it at. So I went back, I thought over it. I was like, you know what, fuck it, fine, all right, I'll do that, right? But then eventually, I graduated from college because this went on for a year and a half straight. I graduated from college, and what happened was I couldn't sell at that price. So I made the decision to shut down the business and just focus on the clothing brand because I had a clothing brand at the time, which I was also working on. So that's it. But although I didn't make a whole lot of money from the whole business and the margins were really fucking thin, I still learned a whole lot, right? Because every day I was maintaining records, I was maintaining accounts. I had to call them, ask them if they wanted more products, go and deliver it. Ask them how it's responding, do a study of which one was actually selling the most. Because when I was ordering 150 crates, 200 crates in one go, and I'd load up all those crates in the lift, put it in my apartment, send it back down. It's a whole lot of shit, right? So I was trying to understand which product sells the most, so I got that on, and just a whole lot I learned from it. So all I'm saying is, you've always got to you've always got to stay open to opportunities because you never know what could lead you where, right? So once this got over, I was called by a previous employer. So he wasn't actually an employer. He was one of the restaurant managers I had approached for waiter's job, all right? And at the time he told me, like, look, Vedant, I don't think you should do this. Like, trust me, I have something better for you according to your skill set or whatever. But I didn't believe him. I just thought he was like being nice to me to like let me off easy because he thought I'd be a shit waiter or whatever. But I didn't believe him at the time. But then he called me literally like 2 years later towards the end of college, and this was almost perfect timing because I had to do this internship as a requirement by my college, right? So what he needed me to do was, be the in charge for sales in the new nightclub that they were launching, and I had like a bunch of 30, 35-year-old guys under me, and it was kind of weird because I was like a 20-year-old dude, and they kind of didn't like me because which 35-year-old would like to take orders or like listen to a 20-year-old guy? Personally, I wouldn't do that either. So I was trying to be as nice as possible, but those guys just sucked at sales. Like, forget sales, they just sucked at communication. So we like did a whole lot of trial calls. I was training them on how to pitch and all that. And mind you, I was no master either. Whatever knowledge I had is what I was passing on to them. So we did this whole training. It went on for 3 months. It went great. But eventually I realized, okay, this is like a waste of time. I was just staying in my college town just because of this job because my college was over. My internship was done. So I was like, you know what? It's time to cut. I went back home and I just took a break, right? So bottom line is, if you really want to make money, if you really want to earn, you've got to be willing to learn, right? Because and you, it's not just willing to learn. You've got to be willing to learn. Well, that's definitely there, and you've also got to be willing to fail. You've got to be willing to suck at something before you become great at it. Now, I'm not saying I'm a great salesman. I'm nowhere near a great salesman. But if I want to be a great salesman, I've got to stay open to being shit at what I do, to facing rejection, and to always keep learning. Never ever have this attitude like, oh, what's this guy going to teach me? Or what's she going to teach me? Like, she's a fucking idiot. What does she know? You don't know what she knows. Maybe she knows something you don't know, and that could help you propel your fucking bank account to the moon, right? And of course, I'm talking from a money perspective because money is really fucking important, but it could be anything for you. So, bottom line is stay open, stay sharp, and be willing to learn.